meeting of Aurora for March 14th. We have some gentlemen in the office from, in our meeting from Troop 44. What I'm going to ask you gentlemen to do is first introduce yourselves, and then I'm going to ask you to stand later and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. So if you wouldn't mind starting from the young man here, the dark-haired guy, and just walk through, introduce yourself at that microphone right there, and then please sit down again, and we'll have you guys lead us in the pledge. Go ahead.
My name is Devin Salgado.
And your address?
845 Rock Creek Drive, Aurora, Ohio.
Okay, thank you.
My name is Nate Ruhr, 520 Eldridge Road, Aurora, Ohio.
Thank you.
My name is Keaton Teeting, and I live in at 1030 Cascades Drive, Aurora, Ohio.
My name is Kyle Ruhr, 520 Eldridge Road, Aurora, Ohio.
My name is Jack Berenger. I live at 688 Deep Woods Drive, Aurora, Ohio.
Second row.
Hello, I'm Carson Nieder, and I live at 800 Deep Woods Drive, Aurora, Ohio.
This is your one time on TV, guys, so take advantage of it.
My name is Luke Raker, 769 Sherwood Drive, Aurora, Ohio.
My name is Matt Singleton, and I live in 445 Dunedin Drive, Aurora, Ohio.
Next.
My name is Nick Green, and I live on 685 Meadowbrook Drive.
My name is Brandon Rumbarger. I live at 17740 Lost Trail, Bainbridge, Ohio.
My name is Robert Blackham. I live at 360 Brookside Circle, Aurora, Ohio.
My name is Daniel Carlson, and I live at 651 Thornhill Lane, Ohio.
Okay, is that everyone? Thank you, guys, and I'm going to ask you now to stand up with us and the Pledge of Allegiance and the flag is behind you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you, guys. All right, Ms. Hawks, please call the roll.
Ms. Bonner? Ms. Randillo?
Here.
Mr. Hedrick?
Here.
Mr. Horvath?
Here.
Mr. Kovac?
Present.
Mr. Cudley?
Here.
Mr. Dugal?
Present.
Mr. Vaca? Mr. Wolf?
Here.
All right, would anybody like to reconsider a prior action from last meeting? Seeing none, I'll ask for approval of the minutes of February 22nd.
So moved.
Second.
I will move in second to adopt. Any questions, Mr. Kovac?
Have to abstain, please.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Hawks, please call the roll.
Ms. Randillo?
Yes.
Mr. Wolf?
Yes.
Mr. Hedrick?
Yes.
Mr. Horvath?
Yes.
Mr. Kovac?
Abstain.
Mr. Cudley?
Yes.
Ms. McDougal?
Yes.
Mr. Vaca?
Yes. All right, thank you. Those meeting minutes are adopted. Mayor's report?
Thank you very much, Mr. President, members of council, guests and visitors. First of all, tomorrow is Election Day, as you know, and Aurora's .9 mil road and bridge levy renewal will be on the ballot. This is not a tax increase because the levy is a renewal, not a replacement. It generates about $500,000 per year, which is critical to our road program that provides somewhere around half of what we normally use for our roads. A homeowner with an assessed home value of $100,000, just by way of example, will pay about $90 per year. And I really urge everyone's support. We have a new program that is commencing in Aurora, the Sidewalk Transitional Assistance Repair, or STAR program. Applications are being accepted for the program, for which the city appropriated $50,000 in this year's budget. This is the program by which the city will share the cost of homeowners' sidewalk repair, and will then bid the project once we have all the applications in. If you are interested in obtaining an application or seeing the criteria for the program, please check out the city's website. You can also get those at City Hall or by calling 562-6131. The application deadline is May 1, and that's to allow us enough time then to bid the project. The Shawnee Waterline project has begun, and I sent letters out last week to residents who may be impacted by the project, notifying them that the contractor, Rudzik Excavating, is expected to start work this month. Traffic should be flowing during the work, and having said that now, I need to advise you that Eldridge Road is expected to be closed for several hours from about 9 to 1 or 2 this Wednesday, when a major connection is going to be made. Water should not be affected because the new line will not be connected until the complete replacement is finished. The project is beginning at the Eldridge end of Shawnee, where there is a paper street and an easement, and there are residents on New Hudson and Eldridge who will be impacted, but they should have all been notified at this point. The Ohio Department of Natural Resources announced last week that Aurora was selected as the host community for the 2017 Tree City USA ceremony. Mark your calendars for May 10, 2017, and we'll provide additional information as the event approaches. The 2015 annual report is completed and was mailed out on February 29th. We do have additional copies available at City Hall and in other city buildings. Since our last meeting, I met with some of the Stonehill Oval residents to discuss the upcoming stormwater work with representatives from Portage County Recycling and with Dana Hefner of First Energy regarding the tree trimming work on California. I also attended Dr. Hyland's ribbon cutting ceremony, participated in mock Congress at Harmon Middle School, spoke at the Winslow Estates Homeowners Annual Meeting, and chaired an Archives and Records Commission meeting. And this past weekend, I was a speaker at the Girl Scouts Women of Influence Day in Ravenna. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions for the mayor? Ms. McDougall?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. To the mayor, there's one particular sidewalk in the woods that is just, I mean, it's probably 12 inches. There's a manhole as part of it. Is there a way the city can contact this particular homeowner and just say, look, you're going to have to do something about this. We're offering this as a short time. If you don't take advantage of it, you're going to be on your own, but something needs to be done.
Mr. President, Ms. McDougall, actually, we would encourage all of you to contact residents where you know there is a problem with a sidewalk. I think it's probably more challenging for us to do so, but by all means, since you all are out in the community and in your own neighborhoods, please, speak to residents who may have a problem, because you're right. This is a great opportunity that won't be available always.
Okay.
Thank you.
I will do so. Thank you.
Mr. Vaca?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Two things. Thank you very much for intervening with the trees on California Street. I see what you mean by it's difficult dealing with other bodies of people. But at any rate, hopefully this will go forward and we'll resolve it in a like manner. The other issue is the road and bridge levy. I do urge people to go out and vote for it. Unfortunately, we have a governor that's running for president. He has put us in this position, so therefore we do need to reaffirm this this levy. And if I do go tomorrow to vote, it'll be just strictly for that. I don't see anything else they're worth voting for. Thank you.
Mr. Hatridge.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. To Councilwoman McDougal, I have a list of all the sidewalks in the Woods of Aurora and Four Seasons that need repaired. We've addressed that with Mr. True on that particular sidewalk you're talking about. So we're working at it. I am going to contact all the people that I have list of to make sure they get their applications in. So we're on top of it. Thank you.
Mayor, I have one question. And when we had our meeting at Winslow Estates, we briefly discussed Route 306. Do you want to touch on that? And the closing of 306?
Yes. Thank you very much, Mr. President. We learned, I guess, kind of unofficially on Friday that ODOT is going to be doing culvert work on Route 306 in Bainbridge between Taylor May Road and 422. And it is supposed to begin after school is out, so I'm imagining sometime the beginning of June. 306 will be closed during the work on that, on those culverts, and they anticipate maybe 25 days. We're kind of waiting for official information on this, unless, John, you've already gotten it. But we didn't have it Friday. We heard literally by word of mouth. But we will, as ODOT will be posting detours and things like that, and as soon as we have better information, we will put it on our website and probably do a press release as well.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
All right, Law Director's report, Mr. DePiero.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just one item in addition to my report, the Marks matter. The oral argument was heard by the Court of Appeals on March 10th, 2016, and the city expects a decision on that over the next couple of months. That's all I have. Happy to answer any questions.
Are there any questions for the Law Director? All right, seeing none, you have a copy of the Council President's report in front of you. Council is asked to please support a motion to add the following ordinances to tonight's agenda. 2016-027, which is the air sweeper purchase. 2016-028 was a Ford Transit van. And the proposed legislation was discussed earlier tonight at the Committee of the Whole. So if there was a motion to amend tonight's agenda.
Second.
We have a move and second to amend tonight's agenda. Any questions? Ms. Hawks, please call the roll. Or sorry, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The motion carried. All right. Citizens' comments. Anyone wishing to comment on anything on tonight's agenda, please raise your hand and step forward, and then introduce yourself and give your address. Is there anyone?
Is he okay?
I keep looking because I just passed out. All right. I
feel like he's got to say something.
Let's run. Okay, anybody on council wishing to comment on tonight's agenda?
I move to adjourn.
Please press a button.
Second.
Please press your button. Okay, seeing none, we're on to tonight's agenda. Ordinance 2016-005 is from the Committee of the Whole and is on third reading. It's an ordinance accepting the proposal of and authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with Insight Advisory Group LLC, substantially in the form attached hereto, in an amount not to exceed $15,000 for consulting services in connection with the mixed-use development district, taking the necessary funds from the general fund number 1 and declaring an emergency in order to ensure continued assistance with the mixed-use development district. This is on third reading.
Move to adopt.
Second.
We have a move and second to adopt. Ms. Hawks, please call the roll.
Mr. Cudley?
Yes.
Ms. Grandillo?
Yes.
Mr. Hatch?
Yes.
Mr. Horvath?
Yes.
Mr. Kovach?
Yes.
Ms. McDougal?
Yes.
Mr. Baca?
Yes.
Mr.
Yes.
Ordinance 2016-005 is adopted. Ordinance 2016-010 is from the Committee of the Whole and it is on third reading. It's an ordinance accepting the proposal of and authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with Hayda Cox and Associates Incorporated in an amount not to exceed $27,431 to provide engineering and surveying services for Phase 3 of the connectivity project, and taking the necessary funds from the General Fund Number 1 and declare an emergency in order to begin Phase 3 of the connectivity project when weather permits.
Move to adopt.
Second.
We have a move and second to adopt. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oh, wait. Ms. Hawks, please call the roll.
Mr.
Yeah,
Wolf?
but-
Yes.
Ms. Brindalo?
Yes.
Mr. Horvath?
Yes.
Mr. Mr. Heffernan?
Yes.
Mr. Kovach?
Yes.
Mr. Cudley?
I'm going to abstain.
Ms. McDougal?
Yes.
Mr. Bakker?
Okay, ordinance 2016-010 is adopted. Ordinance 2016-017 is from the Committee of the Whole and is on second reading. It's an ordinance amending Chapter 153, Division of Parks and Recreation of Aurora's codified ordinances, and that will go on third reading. Ordinance 2016-018 is from the Committee of the Whole and is on second reading. It's an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a 2016 service agreement with B&C Communications in the amount of $11,598 to properly maintain equipment used by the police, fire, service, and water departments, and taking the necessary funds from the General Fund Number 1, Water Fund Number 70, and the Sewer Fund Number 71. And declare an emergency to provide uninterrupted service to emergency communications, and this will go on the third reading. Ordinance 2016-020 is from the Committee of the Whole and is on second reading. It's an ordinance authorizing the purchase of a 2016 Ford F-150 truck from Liberty Ford for use by the Division of Planning, Zoning, and Building at a cost of $24,083.50. Less the trade-in allowance of $5,500 for one Ford Escape and $1,000 for one Ford Explorer, currently owned by the city for a net cost of $17,583.50, which is less than the amount on the state bid list, and taking necessary funds from the Capital Improvement Fund Number 60 and declaring an emergency in order to hold pricing. And this will go on the third reading. Now,
Second.
we have a move and, 20. We have a move and second to suspend.
Who moved and who seconded?
Mr.
Okay.
We have a move and second to suspend. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carried.
Move to adopt.
Second.
We have a move and second to adopt. Any comments from the public? Seeing none, Ms. Hawks, please call the roll.
Mr. Wolf?
Yes.
Ms. Brindalo?
Yes.
Mr. Heffernan?
Yes.
Mr. Horvath?
Yes.
Mr. Kovach?
Yes.
Mr. Cudley?
Yes.
Ms. McDougal?
Yes.
Mr. Bakker?
Okay, ordinance 2016-022 is, or 020 is adopted. Ordinance 2016-022 is from the Committee of the Whole and is on first reading. It's an ordinance accepting the proposal of and authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with American Fireworks in the amount of $17,500 to perform the city's July 4th fireworks program, taking the necessary funds from the Recreation Fund Number 78, and this will go on to second reading. Ordinance 2016-023 is from the Committee of the Whole and is on first reading. It's an ordinance accepting the quotation of and authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with Baker Vehicle Systems in the amount of $10,432.88 through the State Cooperative Purchasing Program for the purchase of a Hustler Super Z zero-turn mower, taking the necessary funds from the Capital Improvement Fund Number 60 and declare an emergency in order to get the equipment in time for peak mowing season. And this will go on the second reading. Ordinance 2016-024 is from the Committee of the Whole and is on first reading. It's an ordinance appropriating $500 from the Recreation Fund Number 78 to reflect a $500 grant received from the State of Ohio Step Outside Program.
Move for suspension.
Second.
We have a move and second to suspend. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carried.
Move for adoption.
Second.
We have a move and second to adopt. Any comments from the public? Seeing none, Ms. Hawks, please call the roll.
Mr. Conway?
Yes.
Mr. Hafford?
Yes.
Mr. Horvath?
Yes.
Mr. Kovak?
Yes.
Ms. McDougal? Yes. Mr. Vaca? Yes. Mr. Wolf?
Yes.
Ms. Randall? Yes.
Okay, ordinance 2016-024 is adopted. Ordinance 2016-025 is from the Committee of the Whole and is on first reading. It's an ordinance accepting the proposal of and authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with Hall Public Safety Company in the amount of $21,183.81 to install new and used equipment in the new police vehicles, taking the necessary funds from the Capital Improvement Fund number 60 and declare an emergency in order to properly equip new police vehicles, and this will go on a second reading. Ordinance 2016-026 is from the Committee of the Whole and is on first reading. It's an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a modification agreement for 2015 auditing services with James G. Zupka, CPA Incorporated, substantially in the form attached hereto, increasing the current contract of $24,480 by $1,152 in order to implement new accounting standards and taking the necessary funds from the general fund. This will go on a second reading. Ordinance 2016-027 is from the Committee of the Whole and is on first reading. It's an ordinance accepting the quotation of and authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with Southeastern Equipment Company Incorporated in the amount of $211,943.04 through the state term schedule for the purchase of a 2015 Schwarz. Huh? Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. It's an ordinance authorizing the purchase of a 2016 Ford that's that one. There we go. Now we're right. An ordinance accepting the quotation of and authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with Southeastern Equipment Company Incorporated in the amount of $215,984.64 through the state term schedule for the purchase of a 2015 Schwarz A7000 regenerative air sweeper, taking the necessary funds from the Capital Improvement Fund number 60 and declare an emergency. The mayor's asked for suspension.
So moved. Second.
I have a move and second to adopt or to suspend. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
Move to adopt.
Second.
We have a move and second to adopt. Any comments from the public? Seeing none, Ms. Hawks, please call the roll.
Mr. Vaca? Yes. Mr. Kovak?
Yes.
Mr. Cudley?
Yes.
Ms. McDougal?
Yes.
Mr. Wolf?
Yes.
Ms. Randall?
Yes.
Mr. Hafford?
Yes.
Mr. Horvath?
Yes, ordinance 2016-027 is adopted. Ordinance 2016-028 is from the Committee of the Whole and is on first reading. It's an ordinance authorizing the purchase of a 2016 Ford Transit 150 van from Liberty Ford for use with the city's transportation program in the amount of $44,112.86, which is less than the amount of state bid list, taking the necessary funds from the Capital Improvement Fund number 60 and declare an emergency in order to implement the program as soon as possible for city residents. Mayor's asked for suspension.
So
Move to
moved.
suspend.
Second.
We have a move and second to suspend. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carried.
Move to adopt.
Second.
We have a move and second to adopt. Any comments from the public? Seeing none, Ms. Hawks, please call the roll.
Mr. Kovak?
Yes.
Ms. Randall?
Yes.
Mr. Hafford?
Yes.
Mr. Horvath?
Yes.
Mr. Cudley?
Yes.
Ms. McDougal?
Yes.
Mr. Vaca? Ms. Wolf?
Yes.
Okay, ordinance 2016-028 is adopted, and that brings us to the end of our agenda. Under citizens' comments, anyone who would like to speak on anything in general, please step forward. Ma'am?
Deb Conti, 234 South Chillicothe Road. Good evening, council. Just real quickly, ordinance 2016-10. I appreciate being able to read the packet that you all received because I found something very interesting. I didn't know one of the things that the group planning this is talking about is possibly putting in a retaining wall next to a sidewalk. So I find that very interesting because my sidewalk's below water level too. So I look forward to seeing how that phase comes through and how that transpires for the city. The other thing is I did read the packet, but I would really appreciate if we could maybe have just a little explanation on what, on 024, what Step Outside program, what that is. And the last thing is this is a wonderful group behind me, and one of the things that I keep encouraging people to do, and I know you do too, is to contact the council, because there's a packet that you can receive that shows all the full explanation of what these wonderful people in front of you get to see as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Kraus, just briefly, do you want to comment on the question?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. President. To the resident, the Step Outside program is a program through the Ohio Department of Natural Resources with the intent to get activities and events that allow participants to get outside more, utilize the outdoors, activities, that kind of stuff. This grant is something that we've had for the last few years, and we've done it in cooperation with the fishing derby that we do in June down at Sunny Lake.
Thank you. Anyone else? Mr. Mazzaro?
Mr. Horvath, members of council, my name is George Mazzaro, 186 Eldridge. I'm trying to be very gentle tonight because we got all these scouts behind me. So. Yeah.
I still don't know what's going on.
It's good to see that many of them together. Usually we only have 3 or 4. But I received, as you have, the priority list the mayor sent for the 2016 year. I see difference in a lot of things, and one of them is the priority list. Priority list is what she gave me was things that are being done now. I'm looking for, next year and then 10 years down the line, showing what we can grow to be as a city. And I didn't see that very much. We went through the budget. We're spending over $30 million a year. And you went ahead and approved it without one question asked by any council person. And I'm saying, is this all done behind closed doors? Or are we just don't have any care about spending $30 million? So I'm having a problem with that. You heard me talk about fire hydrants. I see we're replacing some of them now, but the whole city now needs to be painted and taken care of as soon as possible. I would hope that there's some money in the appropriation to do that, but it doesn't seem like we're doing very well with the hydrants. And I drive through the other communities, they're all taken care of. Why? I don't know. And one of the things, last but not least, your website, it's out of date. We're looking at February information, you got March. And I'm just having a problem trying to keep up what's going on. And on your cable 17, I'm watching TV, I turned it on 17, and let's turn around, I'm looking at February, I'm talking about December 2015 council meetings. Why is that happening? Do we have to pay additional dollars to get something done or have our own program? It's utterly ridiculous when you go to the website and then you go to the TV and we're looking at stuff that's past, that's in current. So somehow, some way, let's change it and get it proper. Thank you.
Mayor?
Thank you, Mr. President. To the resident, some of this cable issue was just brought to our attention, and we've been working with the clerk's office to get the proper programs aired when they should be aired, but it's not all our problem.
Ms. Hawks?
I'd like to say something. Part of the issue is when people are saying that the committee of the whole airs, but council doesn't. Well, they're thinking that council's going to come on immediately after the committee of the whole. It does not. Council is scheduled to come on at 7 o'clock, and it comes on at 7 o'clock. Whether the committee of the whole was 10 minutes long only, council still will not come on until 7. So people are thinking that it is not airing. It is airing. We checked the schedule, we made it appear on the TV today. There is nothing wrong. It is appearing.
Okay. All right. Anything from council? Gentlemen, Boy Scouts, thank you for coming. If you should have any questions, what?
There's council.
Yeah, geez. Mr. Hatridge?
You were quick on the trigger there.
Oh, all of a sudden I looked around.
That's
Mr.
okay,
Hatridge.
Mr. Chairman. I'd just like to make a comment. I'd like to thank Chief Byard for inviting members of council to attend a simulator. And the law director and I, Denise Januska and Mr. Vaca, attended. I was nervous, I'll be honest with you, because now you're on the line, okay? Wow. And he's supposed to be my backup, but no, it was amazing. I've seen it on TV and thought about how would I react. I used to hunt a lot, outdoorsman. I was in the service. Let me tell you, when you have a split second to make a decision on what to do when someone's pulling a gun or a knife or whatever, and is it going to be a gun? Is it going to be a knife? You don't know. It was amazing. I broke out in a sweat. I'll be honest with you, I did. Unfortunately, the law director and I were shot. At the very end. He was supposed to be my backup. He had backed me up. But no, on a serious side of this, I wish that we could put anybody that says anything about the policemen out there protecting our lives and our city. I'd like to put those people in that simulator and give them an idea of what our policemen are faced with. I mean, you just don't know, and that really brought it home to me even more. It really did. And I just want to thank you, Chief, again, for allowing us to participate in that. And just one more thing, Mr. Chairman. Mr. True, I address this to you. I was asked a question a couple of times in the past couple of weeks. Are there any plans in the very near future of repaving the streets in Woods of Aurora and Four Seasons? Just off the top of your head.
Madam Mayor?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Hatridge, as I believe you know, we're in the process of getting all of our roads rated as to paving. But I can tell you from what was appropriated this year, I don't believe those roads are on the schedule, although we will continue to repair throughout the summer.
Okay. Mr. Cudley?
Thank you, Mr. Horvat. I want to take this opportunity to just express a couple of ideas here. It's really rewarding to be an elected official in Aurora because watching what's going on nationally with the presidential primaries, it's kind of embarrassing. And it's nice because when we run for office here, we're apolitical. We can actually talk about what we'd like to do and how we're going to accomplish it. And we're actually nice to one another in the process of doing that. But also, having been a teacher for a long period of time, I see this as a very good teaching moment, too, for the American people. So bear with me. I'd just like to read a short statement that I prepared, some of my thoughts. And it says, I am truly appalled at the political spectacle that has been unfolding before the eyes of the American people. Our founding fathers, Washington, Jefferson, Adams, Franklin, were not demagogues. Although in the turmoil for the struggle for independence, they certainly had the opportunity to create a nation from which they could all personally profit. Instead, they sought to establish a form of government that had not existed anywhere in history of mankind. They mutually pledged each other's their lives, their fortunes, and their sacred honor to free themselves from an oppressive form of government. The recent request of one candidate to have his supporters pledge by oath to support him in his bid to become President of the United States is an insult to all those brave young men and women of all races, colors, creeds, and stations in life who have sacrificed everything they had to defend our flag and these United States. When casting your ballot tomorrow or in the coming November general election, while you may be voting for change, please remember that the office of the President of the United States is the most important office in the free world, and that the individual who occupies that office must exhibit the greatest respect for the freedoms outlined in the Declaration of Independence and the principles set forth in the Constitution, and must, above all, respect all Americans. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Grandillo?
Again, this is the police department's night. I would like to thank the police department for putting the parking lot, the visitor parking lot, and your reception area for commerce deals. If you've sold something on Craigslist or eBay, I hope most of you are aware of this. You can go to the police department to meet the person you're selling your item to. I think that's fantastic, and I'd like to thank you and your department for that. I'd like to thank you for the email notice that went out and the phone notice to everybody about the IRS scam. I know a couple people who receive calls like that, so it's good for you guys to stay on top of it as opposed to wait till something else happens. And I want to thank all you boys for coming tonight and coming up and introducing yourselves so eloquently. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. McDougald?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Two things. Thank you, all of you young men, for coming and for being a part of our community. I know you've helped out in a lot of things throughout the city to make it a better place, and for that I thank you as well. Also, April 24th is the Rotary Taste of the Western Reserve. Please put it on your calendar. I know you'll be seeing us sending emails and letters and all sorts of things, so get those tickets as soon as you can. We'd love for everybody in Aurora to be a part of that fantastic event. Thank you.
Mr. Vaca?
Thank you. I'd like to respond to Mr. Harold Hadrich's remarks on the police seminar. I thought it was fantastic. Fortunately, Denise and I, we lived through it. We weren't shot. She tased one and I put one down, so it's an experience that you really need to go through in order to understand what the police department does, what the police have to do in a life-type situation. I never realized how critical it is that few seconds that you have to deal with. And what you see on TV isn't quite the same as what you're doing out on the street. At any rate, thank you, Chief. I thought that was a real eye-opener. And I don't own a gun. I'm not a gun activist. I picked up a shotgun in the trash a couple years ago and haven't even used it. But I thought it was a great experience. Number two, don't forget to go out and vote. No matter who you like, who you don't like, just go out and vote. If you don't vote for anybody, at least vote for the levy. And finally, have a good, safe, and sane, happy St. Patrick's Day for all the Irish people out there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Kovacs?
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Cudley, thank you. As a veteran, that's very well put. And I urge everyone to get out and vote tomorrow. And I also did the simulator a while back, and I made it through that thing, but it's an experience. So y'all get out and have a vote tomorrow, and
thank you. All right, I was going to comment to the Boy Scouts. Boy Scouts, gentlemen, that was a kind of a whirlwind meeting. Everyone usually here is very prepared, which they always are. So if it seemed like we went through things rather quickly, that's only because everybody's done their homework, and it pays off in that. So, but if you do have any questions for any of us, please feel free to see us afterwards.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
We have a move and second to adjourn. Ms. Hawks, please call the roll.
Mr. Cudley?
Yes.
Ms. Grindalow?
Yes.
Mr. Hadrich?
Yes.
Mr. Horvath?
Yes.
Mr. Kovacs?
Yes.
Ms. McDougall?
Yes.
Mr. Vaca? Yes. Mr. Wolf?
Yes. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you.